Hey guys, it's Purav from PD Tech HD. Got a bit of a different video for you this time, as you might have seen from the title. The Moto G review is still in the works, but since I recently hit 1900 subscribers, and due to Hydro's request, this is raw footage of part of a Nokia Lumia 920 review that I filmed in March last year. It's completely unedited, so enjoy the bloopers and mistakes. It's definitely interesting to see how far Windows Phone has come since then, and with the recent 8.1 announcement, I will be giving it a second look in the near future. Either way, grab some popcorn and some coffee and join me on this look back at the Nokia Lumia 920 live. I'd like to thank Nokia Connects. Before starting, I'd like to say a big thanks to Nokia Connects for sending out this handset to review. This review will be from the perspective of someone that has never used Windows Phone 8 before, as well as an Android advocate's point of view. First thing you notice when you pick up this device is just how heavy it is. It weighs 185 grams, which is a lot considering the Galaxy S3 by comparison only weighs 133 grams. And this difference is definitely noticeable in the hand and in the pocket. The Lumia 920 has a unibody polycarbonate plastic shell, and there's a nice selection of colours and finishes available. In the UK you can opt for a black with a matte finish, or white, yellow and red, which come with a glossy finish, as you can see. Now this glossy finish does attract a lot of fingerprints and dirt, as you can see, so it's not exactly the best kind of finish you want. It's an absolute fingerprint magnet, so yeah. The US also get a signed version as well, with a matte finish. The US get a signed version with a matte finish as well. On a dimension standpoint, the Lumia 920 is 130.3mm down by 70.8mm wide, and it's only 10 points, well, on a dimension standpoint, the Lumia 920 is 130.3mm down by 70.8mm across and 10.7mm thick, which is again quite thick comparing to the Galaxy S3's 8.6mm thickness. Alright, so the display. The Nokia Lumia 920 has a 4.5-inch IPS LCD display with a resolution of 1280 by 768 pixels, giving it a pixel density of 332 ppi, slightly sharper than the Galaxy S3, which has a pixel density of 306 ppi. The display is slightly curved at the edges, if you can kind of see on screen. The display is slightly curved at the edges, which helps with the swiping gestures across the Windows Phone 8 OS. An added bonus of the display is you can use it while wearing gloves. So let's actually show that. Turn it on. Alright, so you can see with the gloves that you can scroll through the start screen, there's no issues, you know, go into different apps, perhaps like go into settings, alright, and you can, you know, scroll and carry on, and then go back to the home, all while wearing gloves. So this is kind of an added benefit of this display. An added bonus of the display is you can use it while wearing gloves, eliminating the need of buying a separate pair of touchscreen gloves for when it's really cold. An added bonus of the display is you can use it while wearing gloves, so eliminating the need to buy a separate pair of touchscreen gloves when it's really cold. An added bonus of the display is that you can use it while wearing gloves, as you can see. So here, whoops. An added bonus of the display is you can use it while wearing gloves, as you can see. So as I scroll through the start screen, you know, it's responsive, and an added bonus of the display is you can use it while wearing gloves, eliminating the need for a separate pair of touchscreen gloves when it's really cold. An added bonus of this display is you can use it while wearing gloves. So here I am scrolling through the start screen, so this eliminates the need for a separate pair of touchscreen gloves for when it's really cold. Alright, so taking a look around the device, on the left hand side there's absolutely nothing. As you can see, it's just a plain like red kind of bar. On the right hand side you have the volume rocker, sleep wake button, and a dedicated camera button, which is nice to see. The bottom of the device has a micro USB port, stereo speakers, and a screw on either side. The bottom of the... wait, why is it not focused? Oh. Okay, there you go. The bottom of the device has a micro USB port, stereo speakers, and a screw on either side. Up top you have a 3.5mm headphone jack, as well as the micro SIM slot. Up top you have a 3.5mm headphone jack, as well as a micro SIM slot. More on that a bit later on. So flipping over to the back, we can see the 8 megapixel pure view camera, capable of recording 1080p video at 30 frames per second, as well as a dual LED flash. Now this camera does also have optical image stabilization. Right, so let's get to where the magic happens, the front. Now I've already given specs on the display, but what you have above is a 1.3 megapixel front facing camera, capable of recording 720p video, and an earpiece for making and receiving calls. Sadly, there's no notification LED here. Below the display you have 3 capacitive buttons for back, home, and search. These also give a haptic feedback when pressed. The Lumia 920 comes sporting a 1.5 GHz dual-core Snapdragon processor with 1 GB of RAM, and the general performance of Windows Phone 8 is really good. There is no lags, glitches, or anything. There's 32 GB of onboard storage available, and you can't expand this since there's no micro SD slot. As mentioned earlier, the Lumia 920 has a micro SIM slot at the top of the device. You can use the included SIM ejector tool to take out the SIM slot, but however there's no guidance on the slot itself on the orientation to put the SIM into, and you actually have to put the SIM in with the contacts facing up, which is opposite to what you'd normally do, and I found myself consulting the manual to actually figure this out. Right, now I'm going to move on to talk about Windows Phone 8. My issues as well as good experiences with it. Bear with, because it's going to be a long list. Alright, for starters, new users are given a sense of familiarity when first using the device, because the color scheme across the OS, as you can see, in my case is red, which matches obviously the red of the phone. Now you can change this in the settings. If we quickly go down to settings, whoops, wrong one, settings, and then you go to theme, you can change the different colors here. So I can make it orange if I want to, for example. And there you go, now it's orange. So Windows Phone 8 has a Metro UI interface which uses live tiles, which are basically icons of the apps that provide useful information in an interactive way. As an example, you can see the people live tile here, updating constantly with pictures from my contact list. Another example is the Windows Phone Store live tile, which displays a number for the app updates available. You can move and resize you can move and resize the live tiles to your heart's content. So there's a lot of customization options here. There's three different where are we? Three. Okay. You can move and resize these live tiles to your heart's content. Just simply tap and hold, and then you get three different orientation kind of size options, and then you can drag and move them around as you wish. Swiping to the left allows you to see all your applications, and to pin any of these to the start screen, simply tap and hold and choose pin to start. Oh, whoops, that was a bad one. Okay, let's do it again. Swiping to the left lets you see all your applications, and to pin any app from here to the start screen, let's choose one that's not there, like YouTube. Okay. Okay, let's try again. Swiping to the left lets you see all your applications, and to pin any of these to the start screen, simply tap and hold and press pin to... Flipping hell. Okay, eBay. That's pinned as well. What's not pinned? Twitter is not pinned, okay. So, let's try again. Swiping to the left lets you see all your applications, and to add any of these applications to the start screen, simply tap and hold and choose pin to start, and then it'll be at the bottom by default. Alright, so swiping down from the top actually gives you quite a lot more . Alright, swiping down from the... How bright is the screen? It's not that bright, is it? Let's see, let's go to brightness. Automatic off. That makes it really hard to see, so put on low. Swiping down from the top. Swiping down from the top lets you see your mobile signal strength, Wi-Fi signal, sound profile info, and the battery level. Swiping down from the top. Swiping down from the top lets you see a mobile signal, Wi-Fi strength signal, sound profile, info, and the battery level. Alright, so moving on to the Windows Phone Store. The Windows Phone Store doesn't have a great selection of apps available, and this is the biggest weakness of the platform. There's no Instagram, which will annoy a lot of people considering how popular it is on iPhone and Android. Having said that, Gameloft recently announced Asphalt 7. Asphalt 7 for Windows Phone 8, so as more developers get on board with it, the more the app market will grow. More on Asphalt 7 a bit later on. One nice thing about the Windows Phone app One nice thing about the Windows Phone Store is the ability to try paid apps before you buy them. So here you can see with MetroTube 79p, but you can get a trial version. Now, whether the duration of the trial and whether the trial option exists or not rests entirely on the developer, but there's certainly an incentive to buy the app after trying it if it does what it says and has some genuine use to the end user. Alright, YouTube. Now the stock YouTube app is really poor because it just takes you to the mobile site. Alright, now YouTube. Now the stock YouTube app just takes you to the mobile site, which is really poor in my opinion. There are alternatives, however, such as MetroTube, which gives a much better experience. Hopefully YouTube add an actual Windows Phone 8 app in the near future with a lot of useful features, but don't hold your breath. Twitter. Similarly, the stock Twitter app isn't all that. There's no push notifications. Yes. Oh, there's portal refresh now. Shit. Similarly, the Twitter. Similarly, the stock Twitter app isn't all that. Notifications don't seem to really work, at least for me, and there's no suggested sort of user feature when you're composing a tweet and you press the @ button. Let's see, @ oh shit, they have that now. Crap. Save tweet as a draft. Oh crap, they did update this kind of stuff, Discord. Right, the Twitter app is better than... Alright, when I first got the Lumia 920, the Twitter app was quite poor, but they did push out an update that allows you to sort of do portal refresh. You can also, when you compose tweets now, if you press the @ button and start typing, it will give you suggested users, as you can see. So that's quite nice. It wasn't there when I first installed the app though, so that was one of my biggest gripes, but obviously now that they've fixed that, it's not so much. I did experience a weird glitch where after posting a tweet with a picture, so let's just try and like post a picture, like a screenshot or something, for example, that one time I also experienced a... I also experienced a glitch where I tried to attach a picture to a tweet. It basically, I couldn't post another tweet till I restarted the phone. This was a one-off but was quite bizarre. Also, one thing that was not in the Twitter app when I first got this device was the ability to save a draft. So for example, now if I type something and hit the back button, it does indeed give you the option to save it as a draft. So the Twitter app has been improved quite a lot. It's just a shame that the YouTube, the YouTube app is non-existent, as I said, basically just redirects to the mobile site. So hopefully they improve that. But nice job with the Twitter update, because that was going to be one of my biggest flaws. But since they put out this update, it's actually improved quite a lot. Okay, I need the notifications. Let's just post the status or something. I still don't quite get the notification concept on Windows Phone 8. The Facebook app has toast notifications, and these did work some of the time. However, the other times I had to go into the app and refresh to actually see them, or simply check them on other platforms. And these toast notifications are quite intrusive, and they block part of the start screen till you swipe them away. If multiple notifications come at once, they constantly just get replaced by the latest one, and there's no notification sort of panel to see them all, like on Android. Alright, so going into the stock photos app, alright, so I do like the stock photos app, as the background changes cycling through the images on your phone. Taking a look at one of the screenshots I took earlier, it's clear that when you have multiple app updates, so in this case Nokia Music is updating, the others are all stuck on pending, so you can't have a multiple app updates at the same time, which is quite a shame. So as mentioned earlier, Asphalt 7 is on the Windows Phone store, and I thought I'd give you a bit of a gameplay. Alright, so since I'm on the trial version, there's not that many options available. For example, the career part is grayed out. I don't know if you can see that well on camera, but it's grayed out. But anyway, let's just do a free play. See, again, you're invited to buy the full game, but I'm just gonna do that and just click next. Just race, no thanks. Okay, so let's actually start driving and give you guys some gameplay. Alright, I'm not the best driver, but you get the idea. So as you can see, it's smooth performance. So as you can see, the game looks great. There's no lag or performance issues of any kind. It definitely runs a lot smoother than some of the devices that I played on. For example, the iPod Touch 3rd generation. So yeah, there's some gameplay. For calmer gamers for calmer gamers, here's some gameplay of the classic game Bejeweled, which on the Windows Phone 8 store, well, the one that I've got, is called AE Jules. So next, and play, action, resume. Alright, so let's see. So again, the game looks great, the colors look really vibrant, and it's great to play this game on this device. Right, so you can get to the camera app by either going into all settings and camera, or simply from the start screen, just pressing down the dedicated camera button. That takes you straight into the app. The controls are fairly straightforward, but if you need a bit more guidance, you can tap the menu and that will give you more detailed information. So you can see here, there is a flash option, so you can have auto flash, flash on, as you can see, flash auto or flash off. You can switch to the front facing camera. You can get to the camera app by either going to all settings or tapping the dedicated camera button. So let's just do that from the start screen. Alright, and the controls are fairly simple now. Basically, if you need any help, you can just expand there, and you can see that you can switch to video mode, you can switch to front facing camera, you can have the flash on, flash auto, whoops. You can get to the camera app by either going to the camera, by going to all apps and then going there, or from a live tile. Okay, yeah. You can get to the camera app either by using the dedicated camera button or tapping the app from all apps or the live tile if you have one. Now the controls are fairly straightforward. If you get lost, just tap this 3-circle button and it will give you more information. So you can have the flash auto, you can have the flash off, or you can have the flash on. You can also switch between the front facing and the back facing camera, and you can also switch to video mode. Now the photo settings are quite standard, so you can change ISO, you can change the exposure value, white balance and stuff like that. But what's nice about the however, unlike Android where tapping on the screen while in shooting mode actually takes the picture. To focus only, you have to hold this down a bit, like halfway. I don't know if they can see that though. In the video settings, you can also toggle the continuous focus option, which is nice to see. Why is the screen so bright? Okay. Right, so... Alright, holding down the home button activates voice control. So from here you can do a wide variety of functions. You can call someone's mobile, you can open certain apps like the calendar, and you can also add notes, which is quite useful. It's not as useful, as powerful as Google Now or even Apple Siri for that matter, but it's a nice addition to have nonetheless. Holding down on the back button allows you to see your recently opened applications, and the image it shows is its last active state. So for example, if we go into the People app and scroll down a bit, so let's say we get to A, so these are some people, and then if we go back into, hold down the menu button, you can see that the thumbnail is exactly where you were scrolling. So yeah. Sadly you can't swipe away open applications. Whoops. Sadly you can't swipe away applications to close them. It's like, why swipe? But to get back to any app, just tap on the thumbnail. Pressing down on the back button allows you to see your recently opened applications, and the image it shows is its last active state. So for example, if we go into the People app and scroll down to the letter C or something, so, and then when we press down the menu button to go back to multitasking, you can see that the People app again is on C. So it's quite nice, but you can't swipe away open applications to close them like you would on Android. But to get back to any app, you just tap on the thumbnail. Shit. Wow, you're still here. Well, thanks very much for watching. I certainly do hope that you enjoyed that footage. I thought it would be very interesting to do an unedited video as a change for a 1900 subscribers special. Cortana recently got announced as part of Windows Phone 8.1, but as you saw in the video, there was a very sort of primitive voice assistant even with Windows Phone 8, so it's more evolution than revolution. I'm definitely excited to get hands-on with Windows Phone 8.1 in the near future, and I like it from what I've seen online, so do subscribe for much more coverage on that. Drop a comment down below on what you think of the Nokia Lumia 920 or Windows Phone 8 or 8.1. Is anyone using a Windows Phone as their main phone? How is the experience? Be sure to share that down below. And leave this video a like if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you all in the next video.